wanted to clap also.
I don't want that clap. I wanted to clap along with you.
Oh.
Oh.
What's up, people?
Hello again. We already have some whiskey ready to go. So.
Yeah, this time we're just ready to go. And we got glasses this time.
Yeah, no more paper cups.
Yeah, the first thing that my fiance said was that we need better cups.
I'm sorry, what?
That's right.
Oh, okay. This is a way I have to find out. That's cool. I get it. No, he told me.
Knew.
He already told me. So that's right. Phil's got some really big news.
Yes.
We're going to start this episode off with this man telling us about his Thursday night. Take it away.
So Thursday night, I got engaged.
Congratulations. Sorry.
Already drinking.
I was so excited. I just wanted to start drinking right away, but continue your story.
Thursday night, I got engaged to the love of my life.
Not me, apparently.
No,
that was
not
a
you.
surprise to me, but
not you.
Natalie's much better than I am.
She is much better than you are. She's better than a lot of people.
Oh, so sweet. Well, tell us like how you did it, because it's a good story.
So I'm really into Funko Pops.
Okay.
So I got a bunch of Funko Pops at home, and I got like I collect them. I collect like a lot of like hip hop Funko Pops.
That's awesome.
Black people Funko Pops, and I kind of got her into.
So no Eminem.
No Eminem.
Okay. No.
Or M&Ms.
Okay. What about Dickie? Little Dickie?
No, there's no Little Dickie. I don't think there's an Eminem Funko Pop, honestly.
Oh, interesting.
But there are M&Ms Funko Pops.
Like the actual.
Yeah.
Like the little round ones?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think Ted Cruz would like the purple one.
The purple one? I thought
Yeah.
you like the green one.
No, or maybe it is a green one.
The green one was the girl?
I just know one got him really excited about it.
Yeah, I remember it was
Really
the girl. They were upset that the girl's not sexy anymore.
Yeah, why can't I get it, but like. But anyway, so you got some Funko Pops.
So yeah, I'm really into Funko Pops, and so more recently, I think within the last year or so, you can make custom Funko Pops. I think within the last 2 years.
I knew that when I was in LA. I got one done of myself. It's a fun little thing. Mine has a camera.
Yeah.
Mine has a camera.
So last year for Valentine's Day, Natalie got us some Funkos that were custom for each of us. She got herself and me, and mine had headphones and a camera because I both DJ and I shoot.
Okay.
And then this year, I went on the website and you can get a box set of Funkos. You can get them in the same box. Smart
idea.
So what I did was I made custom Funkos of me and Natalie, and since last year we have now since gotten a puppy.
What's the puppy's name?
His name is Biggie. He will be the official Hipster Homeboy mascot.
Yes, he will.
Because his name is Biggie, but he's a Shih Tzu. So I think that's in good form.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that works for Hipster Homeboy.
Yeah, absolutely does.
So I went and got the Funko Pops designed similar to the ones that she had made last time. So, but I put hers in a bridal gown with a bouquet of flowers, and I put mine in a tuxedo with a ring in his hand.
It would have been funny if you, just for fun, switched that.
And then you can name them. So on the box, you can give a first and last name for each one.
Okay.
So the first and last name for hers was Will You, and the first and last name for mine was Marry Me. Adorable.
Easy. You don't even have to say it.
Yeah, and then I also got a mini Biggie.
That's
Funko.
adorable. I love that. I didn't even know that they had little.
Yeah, you can do like Funko Pals.
That's cute.
Yeah, you can do Funko Pals, and when you do Funko Pals, it'll like you could choose from a variety of different little things.
Does it come with it's you two and then him in between, or is it like with one of you and is he just like loose flying around?
Well, there's a little section in the packaging for it. Okay. But I took the stuff out of the packaging because it does kind of rattle around in the packaging.
Right.
So I did. I took them and I taped them down. So I put Biggie next to her. Cute. On the outside. Well, does she love the dog more than you do? She doesn't love the dog more than me, but I didn't want it to be in between. Right. Yeah. So so what I did was, I took the Funko and I put it in the bag, but I put it in the bag so that it's facing away. Smart. So that she had to kind of she saw that it was a Funko, And then, but she didn't see what it was right away. So that night she was hanging out with her best friend because it was her best friend's birthday. Shout out to Marsha. Happy birthday, Marsha.
Happy birthday.
And I knew that, you live with someone, you know their routine.
Yeah, of course.
So, she was coming in the house, and I was like, yeah, go get Biggie, and then I'll bring your bags up. So that gave me time to go in the living room, set up the bag
Smart.
the way I wanted to, set up the camera.
And then
she came up, and I was like, I got your gift. And she was like, why? Well, I was like, I can't get
Why not? I love you.
I can't
Let me get you some gifts.
And she was like, what's the occasion? I was like, it's Thursday, that's why.
It's Thursday gift day.
It's a just because gift. So, I let her walk in, and I told her, you got to open up the gift first before you open up the card. And then she went, grabbed the box, and she's like, oh, a Funko. And she left because she was like, oh, it's another Funko. All right, another.
Did she see it? Did she see the Funkos before she realized?
She just saw the box because it's a Funko box. It's a
okay.
box.
Okay, got it.
So and then she turned it around. She was like, and then she read it, and then by the time she looked up, I was already on my knee.
Look at you.
And I was like,
you smart
will
son
you
of a
marry
bitch.
me? And she was like, babe, are you serious? I was like, yeah. And then we went back and forth a couple times with that.
No, it's a joke. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I was like, so is that a yes? And she was like, yeah. And then after that, she realized, oh my God, it's Biggie. I was like, that's the most important part.
That's funny. Well, cheers. I better be in the wedding party.
You're gonna do something.
I'm gonna do something. Not,
Not shoot though.
Yeah. Oh.
No, I mean you can shoot, but
I'll bring my Leica. I'll bring my Leica with me.
But you won't shoot for, you're not being hired to shoot.
Well, I'm going to critique whoever you shoot, whoever you hire.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
It's got to be. I mean, I got some people in mind that I can connect you with, but so do you? I know everyone probably has asked you this, but do you have a time frame in mind, or is it just? Yeah.
That was the first question.
Of course.
My mom was the first person to talk to us after it happened.
She's like,
yeah, because my mom helped me hide the gifts.
Okay. Yes, I remember the last time we were recording here, you were worried about them getting here because was it before it snowed?
Yeah.
And it had already gotten pushed back
Yep.
because of DHL and how they are.
Yeah.
So you was worried about that. So yes, I remember you saying that your mom was helping you with all of that.
Yeah. So she helped me hide the gifts, and then I told her it was happening that night. I was like, you got to watch Biggie while I straighten up the living room and everything like that. And so she knew it was happening. And then I brought Natalie down to let my mom know, and my mom was acting surprised. And I was like, because I let Natalie walk in and talk to her for a little bit, and then I was like, Mom, she knows you know. She's like,
she knows you now.
It's
not a surprise to her.
She knows that you knew.
Well, that's good. And to get the whole family involved. And you went, I remember you said you went when you were down in Florida, you went and saw her parents.
Yeah, so
you did the whole thing.
I spoke to her father. I spoke to her father during Christmas, or
That's
the
adorable.
day after Christmas.
Okay.
And he was like all about it. And then we called everybody, and then her parents, her mom was like, oh, I prayed for this.
Oh, okay. Well,
She said, I prayed for this morning, is what she said.
She got her wish. Jesus was listening and was like, boom, or whoever she prays to. I don't know. She prayed to the spaghetti monster. I don't know.
No, she prayed to the Haitian Jesus.
Haitian Jesus. Well, that's great. Congratulations. My weekend was... Sorry, I'm just getting choked up about this engagement.
Don't be a dick.
My week last week was super busy. So we all know that I have gone full-time photographer this past year. It's been a blessing. It's been fun. But one thing is sometimes it's quiet and I just have like gigs spread out. Sometimes things coalesce. Coalesce?
Sure.
Okay. Coincide.
It's one of those $10 words.
Yeah, whatever. I saw it on a calendar. Coincide all together at the same time. So this past week I had a site visit for Hilton, and then I had the gig with Hilton. Hilton did this whole big like experiential thing at a place down on West 42nd, and I was hired with my friend Greg to come and do video with the influencers, with some of the Hilton corporate people, and just do all that. And that was an 8-hour day. I had to get up at 6, be there at 8. I was there until 5:30. Didn't get home until 9 o'clock at night because we had to go through all the footage. And then the next day I was supposed to have one gig, but it turned out that the company that hired me in August for one gig and then hired me again in November for a gig the same night, the same time at 2 different locations. So I got there, and when I got there, they were like, you're supposed to be at the other place. I was like, well, you told me I was supposed to be here. Long story short, I had to run to one location, shoot for 4 hours, and then run to the second location and shoot for 2 hours. Didn't get home until 11 o'clock at night, exhausted. But in the grand scheme of things, I wish this upon myself. I prayed to Black Haitian Jesus.
So Black Haitian Jesus.
And I got...
You asked for this.
I asked for this.
Yeah,
I asked for this. I'm happy about it, but I'm beat. Like this whole week.
Yeah, no, I definitely know how that feels. I was in that mind frame like 2 years ago.
Yes, you were.
Know, like when I was, so like 2 years ago, when we opened up outside.
Yeah, when
outside
was
opened back up.
when the world re-rendered.
Yeah.
When they were done. When they updated the servers.
Yeah. When the servers
came back online.
When the national servers came back on. When they unplugged and plugged back into the national router.
Yes.
I was DJing. I was already at Swingers Crazy Golf Club, and then I was DJing with Scratch Events. I've always been DJing with Diamond Cut Productions.
Right.
Shout to Mike, Richie, and Mark over at Diamond Cut. I was also DJing, like getting freelance bookings through my guy Dennis. So I was getting a lot of bookings like on top of each other. So I'd be like out DJing 4 or 5 nights a week on top of my Square gig. So like I was already working 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and then I'll run to a happy hour on Monday. Then Thursday I'll run to a happy hour after work, and then Friday I'll do like a happy hour and then another spot, and Saturday I do a happy hour and another spot. So I was doing so much, and I was like burning the candle at both ends.
I'm tired just thinking about this.
Yeah,
Jeez.
so I definitely, I definitely like know the feeling of like just kind of being run dry.
Yeah, but how did you mentally deal with that? Did you just like sleep more? Did you, I don't know, just knew this is what you had to do? Like there's got to be a mindset you got.
Monkey shoulder.
Monkey shoulder. Monkey shoulder fixes everything.
No, I've always kind of like ran on fumes.
Well, you once said to me something along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing here, that like you're not Haitian unless you have like 7 jobs.
Yeah,
paraphrasing.
Something like that. Yeah,
Paraphrasing.
West Indians are commonly known for having like several jobs, and I've always had more than one job. Like when I was DJing, I've always been DJing in something else.
Yeah. Well, that's a cool thing that you say it that way too, because if you love something and want to do it for a career, I've always said like you got to consider it like it's not just like, oh, it's something I do on the side. No, it's my job. Like when I was trying to become a professional photographer, I didn't introduce myself as, hey, I'm Ryan, I work at B&H. Hey, I'm Ryan, I'm a professional photographer. Yeah. It's like putting that stuff out into the world. So you did that by saying like, that's my job and this is my job. Manifesting.
Yeah, man.
Not manifest destiny though. We don't want that.
No.
That didn't work out well.
It worked out well for some.
Worked out well for some people.
Yeah, it worked out well for you.
Whoa. We got here way after that. We had nothing to do with that. So, but okay, so you manifested
I kind of
DJing.
Yeah. And, and
you still do it to this day, which is crazy.
And I lucked, the best part about it was that, like, I didn't have to bring anything, because a lot of the gigs are doing Long Island, I don't have to bring my stuff, but, I bring my laptop.
Right, which is something I would love to know, is like, when you DJ at places like Swingers, do you, like, when you were here last week DJing for us, you and I both brought a 100-pound crate up the stairs of this studio. When you play at places like that, do they provide you gear?
Yeah, so I just have to bring my laptop, I don't have to bring anything else, and, they, like, Swingers had a really good setup. They have the festival setup. Like it's
what is the festival setup?
It's like CDJ 3000s. I think whatever the latest CDJ 3000s or CDJs are, they had that with the latest DJ M9 mixer. So it's a Pioneer setup with the big screens on them, and you plug right into your laptop, or you can plug flash drives into them if you wanted to. Like they're like.
What is what is a CDJ versus like what you used last week?
So like a CDJ is, all right, this is like inside baseball. This is real DJ nerd shit. But like a CDJ is today a controller that you can, that doesn't spin, but you can control the MP3s, whether it's on the device or on your laptop. But CDJs were originally CD turntables. So back in like the early 2000s, late 90s, I think 1999 is when the original CDJ 1000 was released. And it was basically a CD player for DJs that mimicked what vinyl turntables can do on a record.
But so you're saying like when you say CD, you're talking like
a
compact disc.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at the time you could just plug a CD in,
crazy.
pop a CD into the CDJ, and then you can do what you do on records on the CDs.
Wow.
And now they don't even have a CD tray. They're just called CDJs because the name is legacy.
Right. It's like there's other things out in this world that are just legacy names, even though they have nothing to do with that stuff anymore.
Like Airbnb. None of those motherfuckers will give you breakfast.
I know. You know, once I was at an Airbnb in France, and they yelled at us because we left the bed unmade.
Well, did they charge you a cleaning fee?
Probably. It wasn't done through me. It was from my friend Melissa.
So for me, that's one of the biggest scams in the world, Airbnbs, because it's like they charge you a cleaning fee, and then they're going to send you an email that you didn't load the dishwasher.
Or the cleaning fee is just them going to their own house and cleaning, where you think it's like they're hiring a crew.
Yeah.
But it's just them getting more money out of you.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
Yeah. So yeah, no. And then like, so that's what CDJs are. And then, a lot of places, depending on where you go, a lot of places will have like CDJs. That's usually the industry standard. Most clubs, either that or a controller that's modeled after CDJs.
Okay.
And then some places, if like the owner is like really cool with like a DJ or was a DJ or something like that, they'll have turntables and CDJs. You just gotta let them know ahead of time what you need. Yeah.
But like, the thing you used last week was like this. I'm gonna use horrible language here. The spinny ones. The spinny ones are. There was a time period though, just like with I compare this to like photography, like digital photography is like CDJs, where analog photography to me would be like back when you would see people use actual records and do stuff like that.
So that's why I use the setup I use. So the setup that I use at home, I use real turntables with the computer, but like the setup that I have is the Rain flagship setup. So it's like the Rain 12s and the Rain 70 mixer. Rain 12s and Rain 70 mixer. And they're called the 12s because they have the 12-inch platter. I don't know why the mixer's called the 70, but they've been consistent with their series of mix. Like they had a 62 a few years back, then a 58 a few years back.
Are these sizes or just versions?
Just model numbers.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's like they go up every 2 for every model, the 57, 50, 58, stuff like that. So I like these because they feel like I'm DJing on records. Because I started on records.
Right.
So it feels the same, like even for a long time, everybody was going to CDJs with the Serato route or the controller with the Serato route. I had a controller, but the controller that I had was another one that spun like records.
Okay, so one day we're going to have to do an entire podcast about just you showcasing and then presenting, doing analog DJing.
Oh yeah, I would love to do a vinyl stuff, full vinyl stuff.
Is that a different setup, or you still use the same thing?
Yeah, it would be a different setup. I have to use different turntables, which I have.
Are they lighter?
No.
No? They're probably heavier.
Well, the entire experience is heavier because the records are now heavier. Because you have to carry records, and records are not light. Every 100 records is like 35, 40 pounds.
Ooh. But like, as I said, you can mark your record.
Well, yeah, marking records was a thing for a long time because like...
I know stuff.
You do know stuff, which I'm impressed. So like you would mark your record so you know like where something would come in.
Right.
So when you drop the needle, you know that, okay, that this sound is where the mark hits 12 o'clock. So, I'll search, but I'm not like just searching in general. I'm passing through the 12 o'clock till I get there. Okay, now I know it's here. All right, I can.
Well, that's got to be like a huge thing of mental memory, because like if you're doing a 20-minute set and you're pulling out albums, you have to know, okay, this is Whitney Houston, I want to dance with somebody, I know at this point I'm going to use it, and then travel over to, I don't know, give me another song.
Well, in that lane, in that tempo range, that song is like 118.
Oh, it's also down to tempo too.
Oh, absolutely. That's
okay.
So most, even when it was on vinyl, most DJs would set up their actual crates with their songs in like tempo range, or at least in like the same feel. So you know you had a crate that was like this type of feel, and this crate that's this type of feel. So it's kind of like playlists on iTunes.
Yep.
It's kind of like the same thing.
I'm learning so much.
So like, you know, if you wanted to, the thing with the computer is it just kind of makes you, if you like were to organize your entire library on the computer in tempo range, it gives you ideas as to like dropping songs that you wouldn't normally drop the same way. So like, you know, for a long time I would make crates that were like genre based.
Right.
But now you can make crates that are just tempo based, and then you can have 3 different genres for the next 3 tracks. And then they just kind of fit because you just mix it by tempo.
There's so many things I want to know. Like, is it a faux pas to like slow down a record?
In what sense? Like
say you're playing like, I'm so bad with names, but let's say we're playing like Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody. That's very like, you know,
it's like 120.
You know, and then you want to slow it down to maybe like 100 because the one song you're doing.
Ooh, it's gonna sound crazy.
It's gonna sound crazy, but like. It's like art. Like, what are there rules? Like, are you bending rules?
So
are you breaking rules?
It depends on your venue. So if you're doing something creative for yourself and you're gonna put something out, then you can do whatever you want.
Right.
But if you're playing for people, not the problem, but the issue with playing for people is that you run the risk of alienating them, because people, when they go out to, if people still go out to dance, a lot of people go out to hear the songs that they know the way they know them.
Well, if you just go to some of the places here in Bushwick, it's just screaming loud dubstep music. I went to one club by accident because I was doing a gig, and it literally was like, you know that scene in The Matrix where Neo goes to that one club to meet the White Rabbit girl, and he goes through a door that's like, he goes in silent, he goes through a door, and he's into this like 9 Inch Nails, like industrial techno music. That's what happened. I was at a gig and I went through this one side door and I just went into this like red room with people dancing. It was just like, and I'm just like, this is a lot for me to handle right now.
Sensory overload.
Yeah.
Because places like that you usually smell.
I mean, Bushwick mostly smells.
Yeah, Bushwick is notorious for places that smell like they've just been pouring beer on the ground for the last 6 months. Like, you walk into
some people smell like that here.
That's true too.
Yeah.
But you walk into bars out here, man, it just smells like people are pouring beer on the ground forever.
Going out in Bushwick and Brooklyn is weird because like right across the street from this studio where we record is Pine Box Rock Shop, and it's just like, it's a regular bar. There's a couple of interesting characters that go there. It's regular. Yeah. But then we can go 5 minutes down the road and go to this place that I love called Hank's, which literally is like a speakeasy madman bar. And then we can go across the street and it's like a grungy, dirty, industrial kind of place. It's a trip, man.
I think the thing with...
and the Spanish people are pissed.
Why?
Because that's what Bushwick was before.
Oh, it was a Latin neighborhood?
Yeah, it was a very Latin neighborhood.
Okay.
And now it's very Midwest.
And you show up with your fucking hat on.
That's right.
And you're like, oh, I have a photo studio upstairs in what possibly could have been your aunt's apartment.
Absolutely. No, this is a doll factory. I don't think this fits in here. I don't. I still think this fits in more in like New York City, Williamsburg, and like Queens, where I'm from. I think Bushwick, like if I'm not wearing like a beanie, let's not get into it.
Yeah, let's not.
Let's not.
So like, but back to like the DJing on vinyl, it's similar, like, you know, it's similar to like
analog photography?
Yeah, taking photos on analog, you know, on film.
You're talking to the right guy.
Yeah.
Because I am a professional at that. So basically, like, kind of like, I would say, like, do you ever mess around with analog, like, record photography, like, on your own? Or have you ever brought it into, like, a professional?
What do you mean, like taking photos?
No, like, your DJ, like, when you're doing your DJ stuff, you mostly do the CDJs and the other one. Have you ever
used records in so long? I want the opportunity to start using records.
Well, didn't you say that it's like kind of making a comeback?
Oh, vinyl records. We were talking about this off camera.
Yeah.
But vinyl records definitely have come back, and vinyl sets are huge. You know who does like vinyl sets?
Oh.
Anderson .Paak. He's the guy that it's in Silk Sonic with Bruno Mars.
Okay.
The drummer.
Yes.
He's also a DJ, and he DJs only vinyl.
Well, that makes sense. Drummer, DJ.
Yeah.
You know, the beat section. You know that all.
One of the guys that I learned from is a DJ. His name is Juice. He was one of the producers and DJs for Public Enemy.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah. His name is Johnny Juice Rosado, but his name is Juice. I met him when I was like a teenager.
Is that the one you fixed his computer?
No, that's Ted Smooth.
Okay.
No, Ted Smooth is another. Yeah.
I love that story. You literally.
I just went online and was like, "Yo, your computer, you need a new computer." He was like, "Well, how long you been at Apple? How long you been a Mac genius?" I'm like, "I'm not a genius. I'm an expert."
But he doesn't even need to know that. That's the great thing about like New York and like the creative industry is you can just make your way in with just a simple thing like you did. And like this guy I've been working with, this guy Robbie, I just messaged him on Instagram and he messaged me about the film stock I was using. So it's just a great way for people to connect. But I think, there's similarities between like the digital DJ and analog DJ world.
Absolutely.
Oh, your computer just changed color. Did it go into night mode?
Yes.
That was awesome. It's like my car. Did you ever have your car change into night mode as you're driving?
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Based on the lights outside.
Exactly. Which is funny because we have such a bright light here.
This is not based on the lights outside. This is based on the time.
Ah, got it.
When the sun officially sets.
They need to make. I feel like there was a video game that did that.
Oh, I have no clue.
That would be a great a video game that bases its night and daytime in the game on the night and daytime of where your character is at.
I just know Grand Theft Auto used to go from day to night, and like.
Oh yeah.
I think Grand Theft Auto 12 minutes is 12 hours.
Yes, it was. I mean, and eventually when we get Grand Theft Auto 6, one day. Hopefully one day, it'll be the same thing. But I see DJing, like digital DJing and analog DJing, very similar to like what I do. So like
the photos.
Exactly.
Because you take film photos.
I do, and I'm slowly trying, like you're trying to do. I'm slowly trying to bring more film photography into digital gigs. So like a good example of one that I really wanted would be like Thursday was all corporate events. Like they're not really looking for film photos. They don't care. They're looking for photos for their social media, for their LinkedIn, and for their newsletter. But today I did a photo shoot for my friend from B&H. It was her husband, and her 2 kids, and we shot a majority of it digital. But at the end I was like, hey, do you mind terribly if I grab some film photos with my Mamiya RZ67, which is a 6x7 medium format camera. We took 10 photos with it. I mean, I showed them to you before. They look incredible. Crazy. They really do. And I've taken photos of you with that camera, and they look incredible. So I think, like with DJing, like the way we're talking about with you, like digital and analog, I think there's I think analog stuff is making such a resurgence that like companies and people are starting to want it for that like cool factor, for that.
Yeah, oh yeah. I've seen people have reached out to me. Like somebody reached out to me last year for a holiday party for me to DJ a full vinyl set.
I think it's because like people see that.
And they want the cool factor.
And they're like, oh my God, this guy is literally, like I've seen in the movies, flipping out records and putting it down. But I also like...
You know what's crazy? When I used to be on, when I do the shows with the Harmonic Orchestra, there are times where just because I'm fucking around, I will take the record off the platter, flip it, and put it back on it and keep going.
Well, okay.
I will do that just for aesthetics. Like, yo.
You know what you could do, and I'm not saying you should do this because you're a professional, I know you wouldn't, but like, you could just fake it.
Fake what?
Like analog, by putting that record on there, and then actually having the record playing on the digital.
That's what I would do.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm using Serato for the show.
So you're like,
I'm just flipping the control record. Because the record, so you can use regular turntables, and then you have records that are basically control records for the software.
Okay.
It sends a signal to the software to mimic the DJing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what I would do is I would take the record, the control record, and flip it like I'm doing something.
So you're saying you can put down, Hypnotized by Notorious B.I.G., start playing it, and then your computer will recognize that and start.
No. So the record itself is a specific record. It's a Serato control record.
Oh, okay.
And in that record.
Oh, but it looks like a record?
It is a record.
Oh, okay.
It's basically a record. But the only thing on the record is an audio control tone.
Oh.
And it tells the software where you are on the record.
That's ingenious.
Yeah.
That's really creative and cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
This is what I said before. It's like inside baseball. Like this is in the weeds of the shit.
Right. But I've heard, I've talked to other friends that work in the industry, and more people are putting budgets towards film because film has that look, film has that process. And I think we're getting to that point in society and in culture where digital is here to stay. It's easier, it's more affordable. It's also easier for people to use. Like, it's easier for people to start digital photography. But
anything digital is easier because the barrier for entry is just getting the hardware.
Right.
After that, like for film, you got to constantly be buying film.
Yep.
Vinyl DJing, you got to constantly be buying records. For like for me, when I was in high school, like I would so what I would do is I would get $20 a week for lunch in high school, right? I would put $5 aside to actually buy lunch.
Right.
And then
for the whole week?
For the whole week.
Damn.
And then one of those days during the week, I would get on the bus to go to Levittown, where there's a spot called Music Trends. Music Trends
is it on?
It's on Hipster Turnpike.
Is it still there?
It's still there.
Yeah, I think I've passed by it.
Yeah, so I would go to Music Trends, and then I would go there, and they used to sell records. So I used to go to Music Trends on like a weekly basis with my lunch money and buy records.
I love that.
So that I have records to DJ with.
Well, do you think that place is more reputable than some place like Looney Tunes?
What's Looney Tunes?
You don't know what Looney Tunes is?
No.
Really? Okay. What?
Record shop?
Looney Tunes is it's a music shop in Babylon.
Okay, nice.
But a majority of their section is records.
Okay, that's cool.
But I would say they lean more towards the popular stuff.
That makes sense.
Where this place sounds like it might have crate digger stuff.
So Music Trends was a DJ store.
Okay.
And at the time, they had a record collection, or a record. They would sell records also, and a lot of it was either singles, because when you're DJing, that's what you want. You want singles.
Right.
There was a lot of singles, a lot of white label stuff, and then they used to have what they called producer crates that they would sell for $15, and it would be 50 crates of just whatever.
Damn.
If you wanted to sample and stuff. So I used to go to Music Trends every week when I was in high school. I still go to Music Trends now. I'm still cool with Joey. He's the guy that runs the place now. He was there when I was in college, and he's kind of been there now. And I talk to him all the time.
Yeah.
And because that's essentially my people. But it was a DJ store first. And then on top of that, it had a record selection. Now they don't have records anymore.
All right, so then this is what we're gonna do. One weekend day. Do you work from home on Fridays?
On Mondays and Fridays.
Okay. So what time do you work till on Friday? 5?
Yes.
Can you take a lunch break?
Sure.
He's working, okay? If you see this, he's working. But on the down low, maybe one day we'll get lunch in Babylon.
We can go to the record store.
And I can show you this place. Again, I'm gonna preface, it's not like that. You're gonna find mostly mainstream stuff, but you're gonna find some older stuff, some unique stuff. I remember they have a great jazz section. They have a great hip hop section, but some of the stuff you found at this place, you're not gonna find there.
Oh, no.
But I would love to take you there.
You know one of the good places to buy records?
Where?
A thrift shop.
Oh yeah.
Thrift shops, because it's it's listeners' records. Mm-hmm. So it's actually stuff that's good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Thrift shops is just people somebody got rid of their father's collection.
I got my father's collection.
Yeah, I know. And your father's collection, I was actually eyeballing because I wanted it. Because I'm your dad's an old Italian guy from
That's right.
from New York, so he's probably got some doo-wop.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably got some classic rock. He's got some Motown in there. He's got an old black guy adjacent collection.
I told you, when he was a kid, I'm talking under 13, him and his brother and a couple of friends would go, and I'm telling you, this is truth. I mean,
this is the truth he told you.
That exactly. He told me that they would go under the bridge and sing doo-wop with each other and stuff like
Your
that.
dad's old enough to be singing doo-wop.
Yeah, I'm talking Bronx Tale, under the bridge doo-wop singing and stuff like that. But
Jersey Boy shit.
Exactly. Which It's funny you bring up Jersey Boys because I was talking about Jersey Boys and I thought that it was Jerky Boys. And I thought it was a musical about the Jerky Boys.
That would be an amazing.
That would be great. Musical. If you don't know the Jerky Boys,
the Jerky Boys.
Stop listening right now. Stop watching right now.
The Jerky Boys was a cultural phenomenon in the late '90s.
Yes, it was.
And early 2000s.
Yes, it was.
Around prank phone calls, way before Crank Yankers.
Oh, that show was great too.
But the Jerky Boys was like prank calling and recording it in its infancy, and there was no rules.
No rules at all.
There was no sponsors that you were beholden to.
Nope.
They released them on like CDs and stuff.
Tapes.
Yeah, this is like CKY shit.
Oh,
CKY back
you know,
then?
tapes are coming back now.
Yes, everything's coming back.
I know, I love it. Now. I do. Well, that's the thing is like someone who really appreciates film photography, I really appreciate analog because I think this is, okay, I'm going to go on a 2-second rant, but photography, this is how I see it. Like digital photography is great, but like analog photography, for me at least, I bulk load the film, I take the photos, I go home, I take that canister, I put it in a black bag, or it could be a, it could be a, white bag. I mean, it's a dark bag.
Okay.
I take that film and I put it into a Patterson tank. I go into my kitchen, I throw chemicals in there, I swish it around, I pull out developed film, I hang it in my bathroom, and then I take it to my scanner in my office and I put it up on the screen and turn it from a negative to a positive. I have touched every part of that film photography. So like the photos I did today, I took the photos of the couple and the family, developed it, hung it in my bathroom, took it to my office, scanned it, and produced that photo. With digital, today I just, because the kids were running around, spray and pray. And it's great, I got beautiful memories, but it's like from taking from this point to this point without skipping all of this, and there's no heart and soul in it. That's why I love like analog photography, films, like we saw Nosferatu, it's all on film.
Oh, it was shot on film? Was it shot on like a red?
No, it was shot on a red. It was some of it was shot on film, but some of it was shot digital.
Okay.
But like anything by Christopher Nolan, shot on film. But just like with DJing stuff, man, like that's how I feel. That's what separates people that are artists from people that are talented and professional doing it.
Okay, so this is actually circling back to a conversation or a fight that we had like 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. And it's a totally different time now because I'm
so
invested.
This fight that we had 5 years ago, you and I were on the other side of the fence.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to make sure I was recording.
Yeah, no. So this fight that we had 5 years ago, you and I were on the other side of the fence.
Okay.
Because you were talking about how like your iPhone is what got you into photography, and I was just kind of like, iPhones have made like taking photographs like a novelty, right? And I was just kind of like defending the purists in it. So now on the DJ side, I'm like, you're talking about like the vinyl stuff, and you're saying, I'm thinking like, okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've always been a champion of technology when it comes to DJing.
Okay.
And I've had this argument with a lot of people because they're like, this technology makes it too easy to do it.
Right.
And I'm just kind of like, yeah, but at the same time, there's a bunch of us, and I used to be one of them, that like hold on to a technology that was advanced 50 years ago. Just because we stopped going back 50 years ago doesn't mean like there was DJs before the Technique 1200 that were DJing, and then when the 1200 came out, I'm sure they were like, yo, you're cheating.
Right.
So now there's this push button, or it's like, digital is easier. So there's like, so I understand where you were when we had that fight.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Fight. I think it was the only fight.
Yeah. So I know what you're getting at. I remember this conversation or fight. I still stand behind, I think, what I said.
I know you do.
Which is like...
But it's just amazing because I was like ready to be like, wait, it still counts.
I am still behind any way for a younger person to get involved in photography, whether that's their phone or they pick up their dad's, film camera.
Well, it's going to be their grandfather's film camera at this point.
Yes.
Yes.
I think it's important to just get people into photography and stuff. Just like, wouldn't you be fine if like, maybe not your kid, but like your next door neighbor's kid?
My nephew.
You're okay.
My nephew Louis. He's
Such an Italian name.
Well, he's Italian.
Oh.
Yeah, my boy Mike. He's not my blood nephew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what you call it? My boy Austin. My nephew Austin Lewis.
Okay.
He's a budding DJ. He's 11 years old. Mm. And Mike,
Precious.
who taught me a lot about the business.
Yeah.
And that's his son. Mike's over at Diamond Cut. Mike's my boy. I've been with Mike for almost 20 years. No, you know Ton.
Okay.
You think Ton?
Yeah. I'm glad I did this.
You know Ton.
It's either that or like what I remember. What's the guy's name? The voice of Long Island.
Ton.
No, okay, so not that guy. The guy that had his own photography business. He was dating that blonde girl. Ruben, yeah.
Yes.
Not
Ruben, Spanish guy.
right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Roland.
Yeah,
Ruben Roland.
yeah.
Yes, okay.
That's Ruben.
Yeah.
So Ruben, Ruben also lost a ton of weight.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. Ruben, he's still doing his thing. And he's still doing his thing with the photography and shit. Like, he's like the guy that I would go to if you said no with photos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I'll never say no then.
So, well, yeah, and then it's like him and Kadeem are at the same rung. Whoever answers first.
I'll say no for Kadeem. Kadeem,
him and Kadeem. No, actually, you and Kadeem are at the same level.
Wasn't he in Houston?
He moved to like North Carolina or some shit.
Damn.
So, I forgot what I was talking about.
We were talking about what if you knew a younger DJ.
So yeah, my nephew, Austin Lewis, who is my boy Mike's son. Sorry, it's Mike's son. He and Mike have been doing a lot of stuff together because Mike has been teaching him how to DJ, and it's not even on some like you're gonna learn.
Yeah.
It's like, Dad, I want to learn. Like it's awesome, and he does these mixes that like are amazing. And he doesn't even use all the cheat codes. Like, there's like tools you can use to cheat. He doesn't use any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm sure the barrier for entry being higher would make that bond between my best friend and his son, like,
Well, but does he do digital or does he do?
He does it digital.
Okay.
He DJs off his dad's laptop, or I think he DJs off of his dad's second laptop.
But I bet you eventually he would get into.
I'm sure when he gets older, there's going to be a desire for him to like get into vinyl, because his pops used to DJ on vinyl, But at the same time, he's learning how to DJ like for real from his pops on like Serato and stuff on the software, and because he's learning the way he's learning, from his pops and stuff. Yeah. He's like, there are a lot of DJs that I know that I'm friends with, but I'm like, this little kid is better than you in certain ways.
I think, I think that a lot of things, just like history, are very cyclical, and I think analog is having a big resurgence across the board.
Yeah, what's old is new.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I hate saying this, but like, look at the digicams we used to use when we were in our early 20s and like the little
the pointer shoes.
Yeah, they're huge now.
They're huge.
I
wish I kept the few that I had.
I have a couple still, a Canon one and a Nikon one I still have. And you know what? I get it. Because sometimes when I use that little Nikon point and shoot, there's just a look to it.
I get it.
It looks so good. And
especially with the flash.
Oh, yeah. Takes you back to those days, MySpace
like,
days.
There's a piece of it that's like, I want it to look as bad as it looks.
Exactly. I mean, there's what's the phrase? There's like beauty and like.
There's a novelty.
No, but like when something's fucked up, there's beauty in it. Like, what's that phrase?
It's perfectly imperfect.
No, it's like when something is broken, like the Mona Lisa. It's like this.
I don't know either.
I had too much monkey shoulder. It's one of those. It's one of those things where like there's beauty in the imperfections.
Beauty in the eye of the beholder?
That'll work. That'll work.
I mean, if you're a hipster, you'll just love that shit.
My toupee flies off. I'm all of a sudden bald now.
Yeah, right?
God. But yeah, I love film photography. I've fallen deeply in love with it.
I've been seeing that. If you don't check out Ryan's personal page, the film photography.
Ryan J. Leone on Instagram.
Yeah.
And what's your Instagram?
Which one?
Which one do you want to talk about?
So yeah, it's DJ_Philly C. There's PCP Images.
PCP Images.
There's illharmonic.orchestra.
There was something I saw the other day.
There's Hipster.
No, what's the thing that you guys are doing right now? You're like at a booth.
So I guess we could wrap up with that.
Yeah, we'll wrap up with that because I saw them.
So there was a like a live performance conference.
Cool.
Yeah, kind of like Comic-Con, but for live performers and musicians.
I went to the same thing this weekend, which was a Comic-Con for dogs. It was just all the dog breeds there. But you know what? Hold on, real quick. So we went to a dog breed, like all dog breeds thing at the Javits Center, and guess what? One breed of dog wasn't there. Take a wild guess.
Pitbull.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I thought it was horrible because like they still have this bad stigmatism. No, stigma.
You were close. You were very close.
I did that the same day. They still have this bad stigma, and it upsets me because I've had pit bulls, and they are wonderful dogs.
So yeah, pit bulls have a bad rap, and
is it because of Michael Vick, or is it just
actually, if you were going to point to Michael Vick, then pit bulls would get a better rap because he was killing them.
Oh.
But now, I don't even know if they were pit bulls, but he went to jail because he was like putting his dogs down himself, as opposed to going to a place that they put dogs down at.
Yeah.
And he was dog fighting. That's what he was doing, the dog fighting.
Right.
The pit bulls have a bad rap because they're associated with black people. That's really what it is.
But you know what's funny too? Because another dog that I think gets associated with a lot of black people is not Doberman Pinschers? They're usually like a black color.
You talking about the Dobermans, like the tall, lean, long snout?
No, it's gonna bother me now.
Not the German Shepherds?
No,
because those are associated with black people for a different reason.
Oh.
Yeah, police use them.
Oh. No, God, it was not a boxer. It was not a Doberman Pinscher. It was, they're the black one. My grandma had one when I was growing up.
Yeah?
Yeah. Sicilian, we're the blacks of Italia.
The blacks of Italia?
Oh, this is going to bother me now. I don't know, but they were there. And I was like, well, why aren't pit bulls here? It's just like, it just upset me that they weren't there.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for pit bulls. The only reason I don't have a pit bull is because I don't have the space.
Yeah, they do need a lot.
If I had a house, I would definitely get a pit bull, but I have an apartment, so I have an apartment-sized dog, which is a Shih Tzu. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But I would definitely have a pit bull.
I love pit bulls.
And if and when I buy a house, I will have a pit bull, and you know who's going to regulate? My Shih Tzu. Because what happens is, they rival a model. So he's going to be able to regulate on him because he's been there longer and he's older.
He's going to come out when your pit bull gets there.
He's going to be a puppy.
That and Biggie's going to come out to the song "Regulators" by Warren G.
I could just name the other dog Warren G or Nate Dogg. I could just call him Nate, and he'll just be Nate Dogg.
No, you're not supposed. That's what white people do. White people are the ones that name their dogs after people.
My dog's name is Christopher Wallace.
But it's Biggie.
Yes.
And it's Christopher Wallace. When people hear Christopher Wallace, they know what you're talking about. But what were we talking about before I got into my rant about pit bulls?
I don't know, but I think that's a good way to end.
I think that's a great way to end.
Yeah, let's put a button on it, right?
Yeah, let's put a button on it. This was a first full episode. Thanks for checking this out. Thanks for listening. This week we're going to have up the full DJ set that Phil did, corrected and done right. That's my fault. We're still learning.
It's growing pains.
Yeah, we're figuring out the best way to do this.
We don't have a budget.
We have no budget.
So because of that, we're just kind of doing this thing because we're doing it.
We're winging it.
And we're gonna kind of grow with you guys, or you're gonna grow with us. And then by the time we get awesome,
we'll probably stop again. No, I'm kidding. By the time we get there, we'll probably be like, "Oh, we're here. All right, let's get out of here."
All right, that's it.
But that's really it. Next week could probably look totally different. I don't know, but I think in a couple of weeks, not next week, but I think the week after, we're gonna have Patrick on.
Okay, cool.
And we're gonna do an on-air well, not on air, but like in video, audio recording of him making the Hipster and Homeboy cocktail.
Nice.
Yes.
Until then,
Drinks up.
I'm Phil.
I'm
your
Ryan.
homeboy.
Oh, let's do that again.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What? Until then, I'm Phil. I'm your homeboy.
And I am Ryan. I am your hipster.
Drinks
up. Later. Oh, good. We finished one. It worked.
Good.